Hey there, everybody. So what we have here today is an East German training rifle. These things are kind of interesting. They're pretty uncommon. It took me quite a while to find one. I've seen at least a couple people on like Reddit that have one, but they're really pretty hard to come by. And I have not only the rifle, but two of the quote-unquote bayonets, the training bayonets that attach to it. The one on the bottom is the one that came with the rifle, and the one on the top is one that I had bought separate earlier. And the one on the top is in much better condition, and that's the one that you're going to see more of. It's slightly different from the one on the bottom for whatever reason. I'm not sure. I just want to show this first to get this out of the way. I'm not sure why this is. Maybe somebody did this somewhere along the line. But if you can tell, it looks like this is the rubber grip, and inside there is the kind of the metal shaft. And on this one, looks like this is the rubber grip and the metal shaft, but something is on the outside of it. And that something is this grip, which has very small slots compared to this one. So, just something odd that I wanted to note. I've never seen an East German training bayonet like that before. Anyway, enough with the rambling. So, these things were used for obstacle courses. People would run around with them and whatnot when they were without the bayonet, when they were not fixed. So essentially, you'd run around with them and do drills. There's a pretty good video on YouTube that demonstrates this. And then when they did have the bayonet fixed, obviously they were used for bayonet training. They were kind of first built to simulate the East German version of the SKS. I think it's called the KS. But later, when the East Germans went to the MPIK, which is their AK, they stuck this little quote-unquote magazine on the bottom. And they painted it just to kind of simulate the AK. Doesn't have a trigger since it is a training rifle. And it also lacks the pistol grip since it was first designed as the SKS, kind of. You can see one thing that it kind of has in common with that East German SKS is that the strap runs through the buttstock. On the German SKS, the strap actually kind of goes through the buttstock and stops at the other end. It doesn't go all the way through like this one, but cheap solution to that. So it just kind of does remind you of the German SKS. Anyways, the barrel here on the top is solid metal. It adds to the weight, and there's also, I've read, there's also a weight underneath the barrel to kind of keep the balance and make it weigh more like an AK. On all of these, there is also on the top some writing here. Let me see if I can focus it. It says Model 4853. It says that on all of them. I'm not 100% sure what that means. But on most, I've seen like a training knife, East German training knife that has like numbers on it like that too. So this is what it looks like without the bayonet on it. And I'll go ahead and put the bayonet on there so you can take a look at that. So that's what it looked like with the training bayonet fixed to the barrel. Kind of goes on there with like an L bracket, kind of like a socket bayonet would. And it has a plunger mechanism so that when you fake stab with it, kind of get that feeling that you're actually stabbing something. And that's it. So that is the East German training rifle. Pretty interesting and uncommon piece of militaria.